Using cooperative learning, adding an educative element. In these videos I'm exploring different aspects of cooperative learning. Over the last 30 videos I've explored the model from team building and the 5 elements to a number of different approaches and structures. In the next subset of videos I'm going to ask, what happens if we focus on cooperation itself as the learning aspiration and not the structure for learning about physical education? Please remember, however, that while these videos are scripted, they are captured in one take with no editing, so maybe a little rough and ready. An educative element. Picking up semi-seamlessly from yesterday when I introduced my work with Mikael Quennerstedt around John Dewey and cooperative learning, today I'm going to ask how we can adopt an educative element to our teaching through cooperative learning. But before doing that, I need to explain what I mean by an educative element. Dewey indicated 2 things that would help us to see the educative value of experience: continuity of experience and interaction. Consequently, if an experience is to be considered educative, then it should enable us to experience more in our lives. Put simply, the experience should stay with us and open doors that engage us and allow us to go on to learning more complex things. For Dewey, this means that learning has to be available to us as an interaction with the world in the actual conditions of life. Therefore, when we learn to throw, this should be useful to us, perhaps in throwing the car keys to someone or a ball to a neighbour's dog. We don't just learn the technique, but learn in indescribable ways how to weight the throw, calculate the trajectory of the object to be thrown, and time it right, i.e. it's a skill that's usable in our lives. The same is true when we learn to cooperate. Those skills are usable in our lives. Such an idea allows us to create learning environments where the experience itself is more valuable than the traditional objective of the lesson, i.e. throwing a javelin. In fact, the objective of the lesson is the experience. To achieve this, we may need to be more aware of the capabilities, needs and past experience of those in our care and build our lessons around that knowledge. Consequently, from the moment we enter the gym until the end of the lesson, we keep our focus on cooperation. Everything else outside of the welfare and safety of our students is in the background. We may have chosen throwing as our medium, but we want the class to learn how to cooperate. We encourage the class to work cooperatively. We reward cooperation. We make things harder by creating barriers to cooperation to see what the class does. We challenge the class not only to cooperate, but to recognise cooperation and the barriers to cooperation. At times, throwing might be forgotten as we take the class down unanticipated avenues and into new opportunities to cooperate. This is physical education, but not as we know it. Many people will tell us that cooperation is just learnt in PE, but few can pick out explicit examples of its teaching. If we value it so much and justify our subject because of its capacity to teach cooperation, then we need to take the additional steps. We need to reward it, we need to desire it, notice it and focus on it, not as a side product, but as the primary product of our teaching. Making cooperation the educative element of our teaching is a worthy goal. That's it for now. I hope it was worth your time. For more content, please visit my blog at www.peprn.com. Thanks very much. Stay safe and see you soon. Bye.